Helen here with Eyes on the Game, and I'm here at Xtreme Couture, being joined by the always lovely Heather Jo Clark. Now, Heather, you're fighting in Mexico on November 5th. How has your camp been for this one?
Oh man, it's been awesome. Like, I've gotten so much time. They let me know it was like, I think more than 12 weeks before. So, I really honed in on getting my cardio and getting my weight down. And so it's just been like an incredible camp so far. And I'm actually set to leave tomorrow to go to Albuquerque and finish out my camp at Elevation and stay in a cabin and kind of do it like Rocky IV style, So.
Wow. So how does it feel to kind of go back to Albuquerque?
Yeah, I trained there for 4.5 years. So it's I'm from LA originally, but then moved to Albuquerque for training, and it's kind of cool. It's exciting. My coach that I'm going to work with, Chris Luttrell, is not just a coach; he's also family. Like we became really close while I was there, and his whole family, his wife, his kids, and they just kind of took me in and always invited me, for family gatherings, for holidays and things like that. So it's exciting to go spend time with them again, and just kind of change it up and see how my skills set works against people who are doing different things than what we are here in Xtreme.
And speaking of changing things up, I do know that you stated recently you hired a sports psychologist, right?
Yeah.
Is this the first time?
Yeah, I've been wanting to do it I've worked in hockey and stuff. We used to have people come in and kind of talk to us as a group, but I never worked with one specifically one-on-one. And he's definitely helped with me just in the mindset of not looking at today equaling the fight. Like every little day, like every little victory is what's going to make me win this fight. It's not about having to win every training session or every round. It's just like separating it, and it kind of brings down the anxiety a lot. And yeah, that's just one of the many things he's been helping me with. So it's been great. It's been awesome.
So far it feels like it's been effective.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just huge different mindset, like something he said, I was getting anxious about sparring, excuse me. And I was like, what do I do? Like, how do I control that? And he's like, well, embrace it. And then know that that's the same, it's giving you the same physiological things to your body as excitement would. It's preparing you. It's getting your body, ready and precise and ready to go. Yeah. So it's just, just changing the mentality about things that are it's already happening in my training and in my mind.
Yeah, which is good, and the mental aspect is huge in the fight game, but also same with the diet. And I know you've been a vegetarian for a very long time, and you recently, I believe your last camp was the first one that was all vegan. So how does your body feel so far adjusting to everything?
So far it's been great. Like, it's been such an easy camp in terms of my weight, in terms of because I started really so far out, and I started doing low-base cardio, or cardio, kind of easy cardio, long durations, and my weight just started coming off. It was like really awesome. I just listened to some friends that have done this for a while, and they kind of just guided me into the right direction, and I'm really lucky. And the diet, it's funny because I started working with a strength coach, and at first he was like, you got to take this much protein. And then, I talked to my vegan friends and vegan athlete friends, and they're like, no, this is still what they're teaching these people. But, you've been doing this, Heather, for how long? And so it's listening to the people that are doing it and seeing the results of my body and feeling it, so.
And there's so much stigma out there, about vegans. Nate Diaz, after his win over Conor McGregor in March, so he feels that it gives him more energy. Do you agree with that?
I do. I absolutely. I've talked to Nate and Nick about it a lot, and they go on and on about the same thing, about the protein and how everyone thinks like you need all this protein. But I think there's more and more athletes today realizing, I think the only bodybuilder that we sent right to the Olympics was vegan. Yeah. And this guy is huge, So you see those pictures of gorillas, and you're like, the little guy, and he's like, hey, where do you get your protein, man? So there's just a lot of misconception, and I do think it's maybe not for everybody, and not everybody has the ability to, to take the time to really get into that, and it might be hard. But I think with the right tools and the right people around you teaching you, and I've been blessed to have teachers teaching me how to do it right.
And I did hear around the grapevine that you're also a great vegan cook, right?
Oh, well, I can do a few things, yeah. But actually, I've cooked a lot of vegan stuff. Then I wanted make a cookbook, and then Morgan as well has been making a lot of stuff and kind of playing with some recipes and trying. There's a book out there called Thug. What is it? Oh man, I totally forgot the name of it.
It's a vegan
cookbook. Vegan cookbook, and it cusses, and it's kind of funny.
So do you also bake though, right? Because I think I've seen some of your photos at different bakeries, right?
Yeah. Well, at Great Grubbing here, it's a gluten-free bakery or cafe, and for a while there, I was making vegan protein bars, and I was doing a chocolate covered peanut butter one, so it was kind of like a Reese's. It was, oh man, and I haven't been able to do it because I've been training for this fight and kind of had to step away from it, but I will continue to do that and hopefully continue to market it and sell it online or see kind of where it can go from there.
Do you have a name picked out?
Yeah, they're actually called Live Free, and the point of it is, it's spelled LIV, free, just to kind of give it a little bit of a different thing, but it's, live free without animal products and with guilt and, all the dairy, no soy, no gluten, all that stuff. So it's kind of live free outside the box of reality of what most bars are, and the sugar content and the artificial, all that stuff doesn't have any of that. So it's very natural.
Yeah, and that's good. And I can't wait till after your fight to see you start baking again. I will definitely try it out. Awesome. And also, though, I know a lot of fighters don't really like to look beyond, their next opponent. But I do know this is your third fight in the UFC. Say, after this fight, it will already be in November. Do you have any opponents in mind after, or a certain amount of times you would like to fight next year?
I don't really have any opponents necessarily, because with the UFC, they don't typically care about that if I did. So I don't even waste the time thinking about it. They give me an opponent and I take it. So, but next year, I'd like to fight 4 times. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
And in November, a week after your fight, it is the strawweight title fight, Joanna and Carolina. How do you see that fight going?
Oh, man. Carolina is a tough girl. I mean, obviously she and I had a very tough fight, and then Rose and her had a very tough fight and stuff. So I don't know. I think that she's kind of awkward. She seems very, she's very pretty and she's very girly. And so I don't know, even as a female fighter, sometimes that's deceiving when you get in there and you think somebody might be a little bit soft or something. And I don't know. I'm very girly too, and I can be very tough in there. But she's just very, when she met me, she was very sweet and just kind of fragile looking.
Soft spoken, right?
Yeah, very soft spoken. So it's kind of misleading. But so I think it's gonna go 5 rounds, and I think Joanna's gonna win on points. But I think it's gonna be a really tough fight. I don't see it finishing either side.
But what do you think it takes to beat Joanna?
I think you got to be able to get her down and hold her down, ground and pound, or just kind of move enough to where you don't get stood up, or if you do, but just basically control her and be able to not let her control you anywhere. I mean, you of course, I think kind of like Valerie was able to control her quite a bit in the stand-up. They were going back and forth. Now, if Valerie would have been able to take her down and hold her down for, 2.5 minutes of that round, she'd would have won. And do that every round. So I guess what Claudia did, but through the whole 5 rounds, someone who's going to be able to weather that storm and have that cardio and have that ability to do it all.
Yeah, and what about for your game plan against Alexa?
It's just pretty much, I don't really know what she's going to do. I just want to be able to go out there and be an MMA fighter. If I feel like I'm beating her on the stand-up, I'll beat her on the stand-up. And then, everyone likes to seal the deal with a nice takedown just to make sure everything's taken care of. If I feel like she's getting the best of me, maybe I'll be more willing to put her against the cage and beat her up there, or beat her up on the ground, or go for a submission. I feel like I'm definitely stronger in a lot of positions, but we'll see. I think that the thing is transitioning and finding where her strengths are shining through, and then going to where I can find weaknesses.
And lastly, for this training camp, I know you mentioned earlier about like Rose, and I did see some photos. She came here to train. Did you train did Misha help you with this camp at all?
No, she was, out from her last fight with the broken nose, and then she took some time off because, she needed to. So she was here a little bit, but Rose did come out for a week. I invited her to come out, and she stayed with me. And man, she definitely showed me where my holes were. Definitely, taught me some stuff, and it was great. It was good in some ways because it built my confidence, and then also broke it down in other ways. So it was definitely a great experience. And she's an awesome girl, just really fun to be around, and the time that we had outside of the gym was a lot of fun.
It's always great talking to you, Heather, and also happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I know you get to that age and you're like, oh, let's just not talk about birthdays anymore, but I'm starting to embrace it and know that I'm at my prime, and I bring a lot to the table being 36, and Alexa's like 22, I think. So it's like my sports psychologist tells me, he's like, remember, you have a lot more experience, not just in the cage, but in life, when things go wrong, when things you can really hone in a lot more. And as a grown woman, so.
And look at someone like Dan Henderson.
Right. Exactly. Or even Bisping. Bisping's 37, so, I know now they're fighting, but it's true. It definitely brings something to the table. So I can't forget that, and I just got to own it. So.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to your fight.
Hey guys, this is Hurricane Heather Jo Clark and UFC Strawweight, and you are watching Eyes on the Game with Helen.